On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Femininity. And then again, she has great examples. Her grandmother, her aunts, her uncles, her cousins, all of them are being groomed the same way. We have a standard in our family where you got to move a specific type of way. But again, just deep down in you, there's always the possibility of what if. And so when you start to explore those what ifs, those are the things that you try to mitigate and solve for by teaching certain lessons and being certain, a certain type of example. But it's always the possibility. And if you force me to give a choice, and let's be clear, I have more say so in my daughter's life than a lot of these other people. So please don't even lump me in the same category as y'all. I will be picking her husband. Let's be clear. But again, like I said, if we just dealing with hypotheticals as such as the one that Kay presented, I gotta have the conversation in its entirety. And I just, I gotta be real. I have to be 100% real on how it is that I see things.
You would rather have your daughter, hypothetically, so don't say like, oh, this would never happen. Hypothetically, would you rather have your daughter be in just like a so-so marriage? Or would you rather, if it can't be great or it can't be like super successful, she could just be alone? Which would you pick?
I would pick option 3. And option
No, it's supposed to be hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical. Okay, so I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay, try. I mean, I give all the context you want, but pretend you had to pick between like a just,
I would pick a
You would pick a what?
Rita's laughing. I would pick her to be in a so-so relationship, right? Just for the sake of answering your question.
Okay.
But option 3 for me, and I don't believe in staying on code, is that I would prefer for her to marry outside of her race.
You would prefer?
If she can't find a suitable candidate,
okay.
If she can't find a suitable candidate that meets my expectations within her race, I'm okay 100% with her going outside of her race. I've seen successful marriages. I've seen successful marriages. We got some good friends right now, Rita, where this guy, well, more than one, they treat women of my family and they wind up marrying outside of their race and they treat them like gold. I mean, they treat them like goddesses. And so I know this is a caveat, and I'm pretty sure that JR did not expect for this conversation to turn this way, but I am very much okay with my daughter marrying outside of her race if she can't find a suitable candidate within it.
What races are you talking about? What
Any
races
race.
are you referring to?
Any race where the guy meets the expectation when it comes to character, drive, and ultimately becoming a better version of himself every single day. I'm okay with him.
So what races were your friends? The one that you were just talking about? What race?
Both of them are white guys. Both of them are white guys.
What race are the dudes that you said you were grooming some people to kind of be the dating pool?
Guys that I mentor, young guys, they all black.
Okay. So would you say you would prefer for your daughter to
would prefer for her to
not date, marry a black man?
I would prefer for her to go outside of her race than to settle for some substandard. Not saying that all black people are substandard, because I know the overwhelming majority of the people that's in my network are black, right? However, and they all awesome. But if we just go on purely off of statistics and we saying that, okay, only 1 in 4 black women are married, right? And then you also add on the caveat of that the average guy, if we can't ignore it, only the average black guy makes less than $50,000 a year. If she has to settle for that, then I would prefer for her to go outside of her race in order to be successfully married. I'm okay with that.
Here's the other thing though, Anton, just back to what you were kind of saying earlier also. I think in your situation, bro, you're carrying on legacy and tradition. You often talk about the lineage of your family and how everybody in your family has been successfully married, and you can you can go through your pops, uncles, so on and so forth, probably back to your grandparents, probably back to your great-greats, right? But for a lot of us who find ourselves in these precarious situations, and we're just trying to generational curses. So as you were talking, I'm equally conflicted because, and I'm saying like, yeah, I try to set myself up as an example. For me, it's hard to do the example that she needs to be 700 miles away consistently.
Yeah, you got a completely different situation than me.
But I'm not the only one.
I know, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. So I think what a lot of brothers admire in you is that you're consistent, steadfast, locked in. And this is the other thing. You know, when Dame Dash talks about hustling for his last name, you know, for you, your name means something. Your name means something. And for a lot of us brothers, I mean, especially, you know, a lot of us that just lack discipline or found ourselves in whatever situation for whatever reason, you know, you're just trying to stop this ongoing cycle, especially some of us that are in families where you can look all the way down the line and there's just broken family after broken family after broken family after broken. And then you're like, yo, I'm not going to do it. And then you do it. Well, my kids are not going to do it, but then they're not getting the investment. So I'm really, now that you didn't say that, now I'm equally conflicted, you know, in a good way, because it really makes me use the left side of my brain and think like, okay, well, what can I do? Because the generational curse can't continue. It won't continue. But how can I continue to pour into her consistently, even at a distance, even at a disadvantage, to where she's set up to win, you know, and marry the best option available? Because at the end of the day, I do believe that she still needs to be groomed to be a wife. She needs to be trained to be a wife.
I agree.
Regardless of
I
what
mean, listen, we gonna do our part. I mean, I've been doing my part her entire existence, right? We gonna do our part. But I mean, we put in them what we can, and then we continue to try to be there for them as they continue to go, you know, grow to be an adult. And I've created an environment where she continue to be nurtured, and she don't have to be subjected to the same things that I see a lot of young girls are subjected to. They got to take out student loans. They got to wind up surviving. Some of them even get pushed out to the house when they get 18 and 19, so on and so forth. My daughter will never be subjected to that. She will never have to compete with men. So she'll always be able to live in her femininity. And then again, she has great examples. Her grandmother, her aunts, her uncles, her cousins, all of them are being groomed the same way. We have a standard in our family where you got to move a specific type of way. But again, just deep down in you, there's always the possibility of what if. And so when you start to explore those what ifs, those are the things that you try to mitigate and solve for by teaching certain lessons and being certain, you know, a certain type of example. But it's always the possibility. And if you force me to give a choice, and let's be clear, I have more say so in my daughter's life than a lot of these other people. So please don't even lump me in the same category as y'all. I will be picking her husband. Let's be clear. But again, like I said, you know, if we just dealing with hypotheticals as such as the one that Kay presented, I got to have the conversation in its entirety. And I just, you know, I got to be real. I have to be 100% real on how it is that I see things.